They say some things in this world were never meant to be understood, only feared. Forces that don't make a sound, but make the air heavy when they move. I used to think stories like that were meant to scare children, nothing more. I didn't believe in black magic, or curses, or voodoo. I believed in the ordinary work exhaustion and the silence of living alone. Until I moved into that apartment. It was an old building, the kind that creaks like it's breathing. The landlord said the last tenant had left suddenly, no forwarding address. The walls were yellowed with smoke, and the corners smelled like burnt wood. I should have felt uneasy, but it just felt empty. Until the night I opened that closet. There it was, a small porcelain doll cracked across the face, its eyes clouded black, its mouth stitched shut with thin wire. It looked old, handmade, not the kind of thing you'd buy. Something about it made me freeze. For a moment, I thought I heard something faint, like breath moving through a throat that wasn't there. I laughed it off, left the doll on the shelf, and tried to sleep. But the house didn't rest. The walls seemed to hum, low and steady. The lights would flicker every night at the same hour, and somewhere between waking and sleep, I'd hear it, a whisper that wasn't mine. Sometimes my name, sometimes nothing at all, just noise. By the end of the week, my dreams had turned violent. I'd wake drenched in sweat, convinced someone had been standing beside the bed. I'd see the outline of that doll everywhere, in reflections, in doorways, in the space just behind me when I turned too slow. Then came the carvings. It started with a mark near the door, a strange spiral, like someone had dragged a nail into the paint. The next morning, there were letters, my name, etched deep. Right above where the doll now sat on the floor, I told myself it wasn't real, that I was overtired, that maybe the building had rats or power issues or mold. But denial doesn't stop the dark from watching, and this darkness had eyes. I started researching. Late nights on old message boards, reading about curses, attachments, voodoo. I learned that in real voodoo, dolls are used to heal, to honor ancestors, to protect the living. But when that knowledge is twisted, when someone mixes faith with hatred, the object becomes a prison for emotion itself. Pain trapped in porcelain, rage given form. The deeper I dug, the worse things got. Shadows stretched longer than the walls should allow. My reflection would lag behind me in the mirror. Once I caught the faint sound of laughter, a dry, broken sound. And then, one night, I saw it move. Just a tilt of the head, but it moved. That's when I found the old journal, hidden under the floorboards. Pages burned at the edges, words written in a hand that trembled. "The vessel is ready," one line said. "It knows the names now." That was when I realized this thing wasn't haunting the room. It was attached to whoever lived there. It had been waiting for me. Every instinct told me to leave, but something stronger kept me there. Fear, curiosity, pride. I wanted to prove I could face it, so I stayed. The night I decided to confront it, the air felt colder, the kind of cold that sinks into your lungs and doesn't leave. The candles flickered without wind. The walls seemed to breathe, and the doll sat in the center of it all, waiting. I whispered prayers I hadn't spoken since I was a child. Every step closer made the air heavier. The shadows pulsed like a heartbeat, and then I saw it. The faint shimmer around the doll, like heat rising off asphalt. The whispers grew louder, clearer. They weren't words anymore. They were intentions. I raised the only light I had left, the warmth of my faith. It wasn't a charm or a symbol or a weapon, just light. I held it high, and the glow spread through the room like breath catching fire. The shadows recoiled. The whispering twisted into screams. Smoke rose from the doll as its color darkened, porcelain cracking, black lines spreading across its surface. The air trembled, thick with something leaving. The darkness itself seemed to pull away, folding back like a wave retreating from shore. When it was over, the room was silent. The candles burned steady again. The doll was gone, not shattered, not broken. Gone, as if it had never been there at all. The markings on the wall had faded to nothing. Even the air felt clean. I fell to my knees, and for the first time in weeks, I breathed without fear. I knew what had saved me. Not strength, not courage, but belief. Whatever evil had lived there couldn't stand where faith had taken root. People still ask if I believe in black magic now. I tell them this darkness is real, but so is light. The world is full of shadows, but shadows only exist where something brighter is trying to shine. Evil can whisper your name, but it can't